apparently I'm live. I have no idea if anyone's seeing this. Right, so just giving a few minutes for people to pop in. This is the bit where I get like, hang on, I should put on the, how do I, okay. As you guess, I haven't done much technology stuff. Just waiting still, trying to choke myself there. Just waiting still for people to pop in. So it looks like the lives only actually work through the app on the phone maybe. Well, I suppose it is a phone app. Okay, just 1 second. Well, it's been a few minutes to let people come in. Hoping some more people will pop in later. If you're there and you haven't actually joined, that's fine. But if you join, then you can ask some questions and stuff, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And if you're there, can you please just pop a comment in where you're from, just so I know. Oh, yes, there's one. Yay, so the comments are actually working. Right, welcome everyone. Hi, and this is obviously my first Instagram live book launch. I haven't done Instagram live other than a couple of tests before, so and we just had some fun technology hiccups this morning, so I'm a bit, yeah. So today we're celebrating the launch of my ebook. There we go. And this will be fun because it's all mirrored. Mrs Hudson Investigates. So there you go. Okay, so how this is going to work is there are some giveaways. You can get copies of Mrs Hudson Investigates. Oops. And all you need to do is if you comment, so if you're just watching and you haven't joined, then please join. And I have Dear Heart over there. I don't know whether I have to okay the joining with this one. I think you just join in. And if you make a comment or you ask a question, then you're in the running for an ebook giveaway. If you want a question specifically, if you put a Q at the front, that way it'll be easier to spot the questions just in case there happens to be a lot of comments. You never know. Okay. So there'll be a ebook giveaway for anyone who does a comment. At the end, we'll write down the people who've done the comment and I'll roll dice and whatever that is, whoever gets it, and also one for anyone who asks a question. And then if there's lots and lots of stuff, I might do another one on top of that for the best question, maybe. Okay, so yes, my Dear Heart is over there noting down everyone so I don't miss any questions. So yeah, I know, I'm a bit nervous. Okay, so Mrs Hudson Investigates is the first and I'm also losing my voice, I'm so sorry, is the first of Victorian Mysteries series of ebook short stories. It's a long one. Okay, it's set in, this particular one is set in 1891 and it's in the world of Sherlock Holmes. So probably some of you have read Sherlock Holmes, I hope. But curiously in this one, the great detective himself is actually not there. He's totally missing. It's what they call an absent Sherlock Holmes. And so Mrs Hudson actually has to reluctantly take up the mantle. She doesn't really want to initially. So as I said, this is the cover, and you've probably seen the cover around the place. And yes, I know it's back. I have no idea. There's probably a way to flip this, but I don't know whether I can. So sorry about that. You can actually, if you want a copy, you can actually go direct to my website, and I will end up hopefully if it doesn't come up in the comments, I will actually post the link to this. So you go to my webpage, which is www.karenjcarlisle, and you click on shop, and you go down to the ebooks, and you can find it there, and you can buy direct from me in Australian dollars. And then you get an email on how to collect that through BookFunnel, or you can go on to online stores, and that's at books2read.com/Mrs-Hudson-Investigates, and again I'll post that link as well. So that's available at all stores. It's officially launching today, If it's not on Amazon at the moment, it will be eventually. I know it's on Apple Books, and I know you can get it on Smashwords and Apple Books and Barnes & Noble and Kobo and the other ones. It's been up there for pre-order. I have sent it through to Amazon about 4 weeks ago, and as of yesterday I haven't seen it. So it will get there eventually if you prefer that. Right, so I thought I'd go start with the blurb. So we all know the stories. A mystery, a brilliant detective, mystery solved. But what if he went missing? Who would solve them? A secret communique from the French government has been stolen. Holmes has been engaged to find the thief to prevent the message falling into the wrong hands, but he's nowhere to be found, and Dr. Watson is off to find him. So it's up to Mrs. Hudson to investigate. So with the help of Mary Watson, Mrs. Hudson proves she's just as canny as the great detective. And I mean, what can't a good woman do if she wants to? She puts her mind to it, so of course. So for this mystery, I chose a time when Sherlock Holmes was absent. He'd been actually engaged by the French government on a matter of extreme importance in one of the stories, and that was set in 1891. And there were letters to Dr. Watson saying he'd likely be in France for quite a while and not knowing when he's coming back. So I thought that's the perfect time to set the first one. He's away, something's happening. So Mrs. Hudson basically ends up taking up that engagement, that investigation about the secret communique, because Holmes is nowhere to be found, and someone has to do it. And you know, it is Holmes's reputation at stake if it doesn't get done. Okay. So if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments. So I'll show you the book thing again. I have no idea how long this is going to last, the launch. So hopefully if you're in soon, oops, okay. Oh, there's a little camera down there. I've just found some. Oh, I'm not game to actually. No questions. Okay. So now I understand why people are doing these lives. Why they keep doing this and touching things? Because there's a thing that says questions there. So it says you can send questions there, or it says you can add a comment, and there's no comment at the moment. So yes, please, if you have a question. Oh, okay, yep. How did you come up with the idea for the series? Okay. Right. The original prompt, I suppose, was a call out for an anthology called Where's Holmes, and it's an Australian absent Holmes anthology. There's been a few since then. And what that means is that it has short stories that has the secondary characters, any of the characters except for Sherlock Holmes himself. Now, I don't know whether that's because they wanted to do a different angle or because of the copyright, although most of Sherlock Holmes stuff is actually out of copyright. There's about 2 or 3 stories right near the end that are still in copyright, but basically you can write Sherlock Holmes stories. You just have to, at the moment until the end of next year when they all are out of copyright, just be a little bit careful how you actually present the Sherlock Holmes character. There's a few other things that have been going on, which is it's all to do with legalese and stuff. But basically, if you pick any of the other characters except for Dr. Watson's second wife, I believe, so any of the other characters are basically free game. So I thought, well, this is fun. I love Sherlock Holmes. It's a Victorian mystery. It doesn't have, I suppose, this one isn't really steampunkish though. It's more Victorian, Sherlock Holmesian. I think they call them Holmesian mysteries is what I've been saying. And so I thought, well, Mrs. Hudson has always fascinated me. There's not a lot said about her. I think they mention about her Scottish breakfasts, I think, at one stage. And they mention about her footsteps going up the stairs in one of the short stories as well, but then you never actually get a description of her and you never really hear much about her. So I thought, aha, that's really cool. Well, I thought it was cool. And so she's this enigma. So really I had the freedom to create any sort of character I wanted, really. So of course she's clever. She has many contacts. She's done a few things in her past that I know, that I've got. And it's a bit of a mysterious background, giving her several skill sets which will come to light during the series. So it has been in the Sherlock Holmes, in the Where's Holmes anthology, and now it's out of, what's the legal term for it? It's out of exclusive print rights, so basically I can put it out there myself. Yay! So that's how the idea for the series came around. Okay, so if you've got another question, don't forget to put a Q at the front there. In honour of Mrs Hudson Investigates, so, you know, so, just had a quick look there. Okay, so the colours aren't very good on there. It's actually a purple and aqua. The thing that looks blue there keeps moving. The colour that looks blue is actually purple. If you go and look at the actual cover. So I thought today I'd wear my purple waistcoat and my aqua to go with that there. And I bought, because any excuse for a new teacup, I bought a new teacup. You saw it if you were looking at the Instagram post yesterday about the book launch. So this is my new one here, and I bought this one specifically to celebrate the launch today of Mrs Hudson Investigates. I've got to put that at the end. Okay. Question: will Sherlock Holmes appear in the stories? Probably not. As I said, until the end of next year, I think, there are a couple of Sherlock Holmes stories that are still in copyright. And it's just, well, I'm a bit slack really. It's easier to avoid actually meeting him, to just avoid the whole copyright schmozzle. Plus also there's lots of other characters, like in this book, in the first short story, you actually come across a couple of the irregulars, which are pretty cool as well. And Mrs Hudson has to befriend them and ask them to help her. And so she has to negotiate with them to start with, because she really hasn't had a lot to do with them. She's heard about them. And of course, Mrs Watson, Mary Watson, is a companion or sidekick. Dr Watson is in the first one. He's in the second one too. So he's there, but he's sort of the background. Mary Watson sort of is a bit more into it, and gets to have a bit of fun as well. So, long answer to a question, and no, there probably won't be Sherlock Holmes. Also, there are some spoilers for the first story, which I won't say. So if you read the first story, you'll know another reason why. Okay, what do we got here? So I sort of had planned this to go to about 20-30 minutes. So if there's any more questions, maybe take one more question. Check. Right. How many stories in the series? There's 2 so far. So there's Mrs Hudson Investigates. You've got to keep showing the cover, don't you? Show the cover. And there's a second story already written. I've got a mind blank for the name of the story. Ah, that's right. The Case of the Forgotten Letter. I forget the name of the story. And that will probably be released before Christmas. In the middle of writing the next book, which should be the Department of Curiosities too. But the problem is I've got sidetracked with another idea for a new series, and I've got to get the notes for that written down, so there won't be a book or a full-length book out this year. So I thought what I'll do is I'll put out at least 2 short stories, and there's another short story, probably depending on when Mrs Hudson and the Forgotten Letter comes out. It's probably going to be before Christmas, and the other short story might be early next year. So that's that one there. Okay, so I'm going to need some dice. Just give a few more minutes to see if anyone else is going to do it. No. Okay, so if I go for a 6-sided dice, I think is a good practice. Oh, I've also got so if you are here now, that's great. If you also want to join me at 2:30, I'll be on Facebook, and that's the noise. I just need a 6-sided dice. Purple one. Oh, hang on, there's one with purple and aqua to go for Mrs Hudson. Yes. Okay. Yes, Facebook. So that'll be at 2:30 today. So I don't know what time it is where you are. It's about 10 to 1 here in Adelaide. So that's in about 3 hours and no, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hours roughly. Just over 1.5 hours, so 2:30 Adelaide time. I'll be doing one on Facebook as well. After this too, I'll post to Instagram. I will post the new trailer. I've got 2 versions of the new trailer. One's in portrait, so that can go on to things like TikTok and social media, and the other one is in landscape, which goes that way. And I'll be showing that one, which is slightly different, on the Facebook live at after the Facebook live at 2:30. Now I've been trying to work out how to put that into this video. I don't know how to attach it to this video, so what I will probably do, well, what I will do is I will, after this live is finished, I'll go in and I'll post that as a separate video to Instagram, and I'll probably have to do the same thing to Facebook. I'll also pop in a copy of the link to the Facebook event, which had to be changed. If you saw my little panicked video before, we had some technological difficulties. Facebook decided to change the event from 2:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. and would not let me re-edit it, and so I had to create version 2 of the Facebook event. So woohoo, Facebook. Yes, so I'm going to see if I can do this. So I'm going to put this down here. Whoa. So last minute for questions if anyone's there. And what I'm going to try to do is make a big mess and do everything. I'm going to try to angle this phone down so you can actually see. Let's see if this will work. Can you see that? Yep. And I'll roll the dice. What number is that? 6. Hopefully you can see. Can you see that? 6. Okay, I have no idea if that worked. Did that work? So that was a 6. So Raven, you'll be getting a free ebook. So thank you everyone for joining me. And I probably should do where to get it again. So me and technology. So that's Mrs Hudson Investigates, and it's ebook only, I think. Yeah. I think I mentioned that before. Anyway, it's ebook only because they're short stories, and you can go to KarenJCarlisle.com, and then you go into the shop and into the ebooks. It's actually KarenJCarlisle.com/product/Mrs-Hudson-Investigates-ebook/ really long. I will put a link in, and that's in Australian dollars if you're in Australia, and online stores through books2read.com, Mrs Hudson Investigates. It's as I said, in most online stores and has been on pre-order and should be clicking over. I don't know whether I should check. They could be still on American time, So it might be still pre-order till tomorrow, but if you go to my website, you can pay in Australian dollars, you can actually get it straight away, and you should get an email on that. Okay, so I will send that off to the winner, and I will see you on Facebook at 2:30. And now I've got to work out how to finish this post, so that's going to be fun. I think I hit the X. Okay, see you. Bye.